Hi, everyone. I'm Chris McVey, a master lecturer in the writing program. So what happens when we allow students to collaborate with AI in their work and even to use AI to help them write? I'm going to talk about data from surveys we gathered involved in the AI intensive writing pilot described by my colleague Parry, in which we integrated AI throughout the course and allowed students to submit up to 50% for their submitted work to use AI for up to 50% of their writing. In the entrance survey, we asked students how often they believed college students in general were using AI to complete work for a class, whether or not that use was allowed. Most students responded very often, generally widespread. Unsurprising, right? But when we asked them if they think students should be allowed to use AI for their assignments, most students said yes, we should, but with some restrictions. They don't want unregulated use, and qualitative responses suggested that they actually share many concerns that faculty have, that some students will become too dependent on AI and avoid learning, or that their human work will be assessed against AI work in an unlevel playing field. So this is lesson one. We shouldn't assume that students use AI as a shortcut or even that they want to, and we won't know what students think or how they actually prefer to use it unless we ask them in an environment in which they feel they can disclose. In the exit survey, we asked students how they used AI in the pilot and what they found helpful or unhelpful about it. The top question here asked students to identify the primary or most frequent way they used AI, to find information, to brainstorm, to revise, to check grammar, to write entire sections of an essay, or to write individual sentences like topic sentences or thesis statements. And as you can see, the vast majority used it primarily for finding information and brainstorming, not for writing, even when they were allowed. When we asked students if they think AI is useful for writing entire sections of an assignment, such as the conclusion, the majority of responses were either skeptical or neutral. So let me say that again. When we asked them if they think it's useful for writing an assignment, responses tended towards skepticism or neutral. And here's just a snapshot of some qualitative responses. And for the sake of time, I'll highlight the second and the third. To quote from a student, "In my experience, ChatGPT only sped up my writing and research process. The vast majority of the sentences in my written assignments were written by me. The only time I used GAI was to summarize a concept or define something. ChatGPT is mostly useless when it comes to making an interesting argument. I believe that GAI improved my relationship with writing. I find myself procrastinating less because GAI can help me get the ball rolling, and it makes knocking out a paragraph here and there in my spare time feel less painful." And then the third one, "Just because you need some help or someone to go back and forth with does not mean you are cheating." So this is lesson two, that students use AI in varied ways, and we have to be attentive to this variety if we want to guide them to use it responsibly. If we focus only on how to police student use, we're missing the bigger picture and we're not effectively teaching it. So what does this mean for policy and pedagogy? Policy should be designed to emphasize transparency regarding AI use, not merely or only policing that use. Students desperately want that guidance from us. And although I don't have time to talk about it today, in my view, current citation conventions are inadequate and we need to rethink forms of attribution. Second, policy should foster creative and critical collaboration with AI tools. And we have to move beyond a binary mindset that student work is either AI generated or not. The truth is just more complicated. And finally, policies have to be responsive to the context at the level of the assignment, the class, and the institution. And that AI integration into curriculum should be intentional, purposeful, and flexible. And so we're actually trying to expand this research. So during the TAP hour, please talk with Parry or myself if you're interested in collaborating to learn more about how your own students are using it. Thank you very much.